Hi guys, I'm here to do it now. I'm doing another review for today for you. Um, this movie, the movie I'm going to be reviewing. Sorry if I sound very cranky. It's very early in the morning. Uh, Today's review I'm going to be doing is Underworld, the original Underworld, the first movie. I have seen two, and I have seen three maybe, but I have not seen four and five. Um, I've heard that four and five were really bad. And I think that most viewers always recommended to watch the first three because after three, I think they said that this franchise like went downhill, especially taking out all the recognizable characters from the first movie. So yeah, so it's basically an undercover of night. It's about the undercover of night. Vampires engage in an age-old battle and their sworn enemies. The Lycans, aka the werewolves, right? A clan of violent werewolves. Selene, a vampire orphaned in the wake of a bloody Lycan attack, works for the vampire clan as a trained killer. Um, when the Lycans take a mysterious interest in Michael Corbin, an exceptional mortal doctor, Selene struggles to save him from like Lucian, a ruthless Lycan leader hell bent on ending the vampire bloodline. Yep, that's the plot. Underworld is basically a dumb love child of the Matrix and Blade franchise. If your brain is all the way off, then it's modernly entertaining. Well, yeah, so this is like the first film that I watched so far, and I was only able to see this one most of the time. I never seen most of the sequels. I didn't care for them. I think, you know, I just recently rewatched it from just recently, like this past week. When it came to Tubi. This movie is very underrated. Been watching it recently. It still kind of holds up. It says everything. The pacing and framing never leaves a dull moment. The special effects, shockingly, still look flawless. Well, almost, even to today's standards. This must have been extremely time consuming to achieve in 2003. All of the actors, for the most part, seem perfectly suited for their parts, especially for a movie that is meant to be primarily a gratuitous, action packed feature. The acting is quite good overall. Costumes and sets are exquisite. Lots of detailed scenes, textures, and nuances that work harmoniously to sustain a consistently dark, brooding atmosphere. Watching this after 23 years, well, not, well, I didn't say this 23 years ago because I was too young to watch it. I saw this in '07 of September. I noticed things I didn't before. It's the type of movie you could watch as many times as you can, and discover little nuances about each time. Um, Although deeply flawed, goofy, and campy in moments, it's criminally underrated. It's one of the okay, really decent, really good horror action films that I have not seen in a while. Kate Beckinsale, Michael Sheen, and Bill Nighy do shine the most of their charismatic strong performances. Even if the plot can be messy and outperform others, it's stylish and beautiful, gothic, action packed. That's like worth a watch. Definitely recommended. If not, then skip it. Even though it aims for a fusion of horror, sci-fi, as it feuds as it's for a fusion horror, sci-fi, and gothic action. To me, it kind of rarely delivers on its promise. Like Kate Beckinsale gives an intense performance that carries the film far more than the script does. The screenplay is like clunky, overloaded with like lore that never fully pays off, and the dialogue that feels more functional than engaging. The world building is dark and stylish, but the pacing drags, and the supporting cast struggles to like match Beckinsale's energy. Despite flashes of a potential, the film never finds momentum, circling the same conflicts without adding depth. The action sequences lack weight, making the stakes feel distant. Even with its mythology of vampires and werewolves, the film leans too heavily on style, leaving the story a little thin. It's enjoyable for fans of aesthetic, but never becomes the gripping experience it aims to be. But yeah, it's just a decent movie. You know, I found myself getting a little distracted and bored about it. You know, the special effects are great, a little bit dry for me, and the characters all have the same tone and vibe. Also, in some cases, similar looks, which adds to the dryness because no one stands out except for Selene. Um, Successful 2 hours and 1 minute. Rated R for its strong gore, some language, and strong violence. Dubbed, subtitled worldwide studios. It may not invent the wheel, but it's like definitely entertaining. I don't get the low reviews from critics. Well, I never do actually. If you don't like vampire action movies, why would you even watch it and review it? I mean, I don't review genres I don't enjoy watching. See what I'm saying? So I enjoy this movie, so that's the reason why I'm talking about this movie. Because I saw it years ago. I saw it as a 12-year-old, and I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was great. Um, yeah, so it's basically an early 2000s Romeo and Juliet kind of story. It's cool. It's cool and all. Widely underappreciated. I still enjoy it to this day. You know, after like 19 years, me check. You know, since I seen it. You know, yeah. As is the case with most franchises, the original installment is the best of the bunch. A concept is as simple as perpetual war between vampires and werewolves playing out in the world. It could have been like a concept for made for TV sci-fi movie. Gratefully, though, they took it seriously. They cast great actors across the board. Sorry. What was I think? Yeah, the cast is great across the board. Wrote lore, the lens itself very adeptly to building a very interesting world and history between the two factions. Overall, well made, well acted, most fun to watch if you're bored. That is. Okay, if you have nothing else to check out, this is definitely one of these films that you can check out. Even though it's not award winning, but it doesn't have to. It's just great. I haven't seen much of this franchise. I only seen this movie most of the time. I have never seen two that much. I haven't seen three at all. Um, the first one is the only one I've seen so far. Most of the time, I haven't seen any of the sequels that much. I have never seen the last movie, which a lot of people hated because of I'm guessing because of the change of story or lack of what it had in the original Underworld. Overall, this movie is basically an edgy early 2000s gothic action film. The action in this movie was breathtaking at the time of its release. It still holds up very well today. The world and the lore of the universe are just fantastically rich and dark. Len Wiseman found his filmmaking voice when he made this movie and has been reluctant to return to this style of film that this type of filmmaking works so well with. characters are admittedly a little thin, and the movie probably shouldn't have spent just a little more time fleshing out who these characters are, but was said that it was never a big enough problem to to take me out of the movie. Len Wiseman must have been one of the few directors at the time who knew CGI isn't meant to be relied on, but rather used as a tool, and hence VFX, or used for shots that they were at the time possible to achieve. This movie has the perfect balance in between practical effects and computer generated effects, resulting in effects that actually aids your submersion rather than preventing your movie immersion. You submerses you. With the vampires and lycans, the werewolves, waging a secret war against one another, you are treated to action moment scenarios that at the time had never been seen before. Underworld has like undoubtedly solidified itself as a cult commercial classic next to the other vampire werewolf movies that preceded it and influencing the ones to follow. If you're a fan of all these dark, gothic, rich with lore, then Underworld is absolutely must see for yourself. Anyways, yeah, definitely check it out if you're into that kind of thing. Um, I really love. I like. I think Kate Beckinsale did an amazing job in this movie. I remember her from other like other non-action movies like Click with Adam Sandler. I remember her in the Total Recall remake, but I didn't think it was that great. Michael Sheen was also good in this too. Scott Speedman, he was good in this too. To be honest with you, I actually like Michael Sheen in this movie better than Twilight. When he was a vampire. That movie also. I actually prefer this movie over Twilight, to be honest with you. Anyways, this is my review for Underworld. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. See ya.